Guys, welcome to the video, and I'm so happy that I have actually got a sponsored video that I can do. I've only ever done, I think, 4 sponsored videos in my life, and I get offered 2 a week, but they're always about awful games that I just, no, my opinion is not for sale. I will only do a sponsored video on a product that I know is good. And I reviewed this game back in 2016, thumbed it up. I know it's a good game. It's still very positive on Steam despite going through lots of changes, which is another good sign. And I've been playing it now since Tuesday, and Paradox says I can say what I want about the game. There's no restrictions on if I don't like something, I can say it. It's just great, but it's not a review. I don't do reviews when it's a sponsored video. The whole point of this video is a promotion really that's going on Steam with Stellaris. It's free to play essentially between the 12th and the 17th of May this month. So it's probably now, to be honest. So it's probably free to play now. Just simply click the link in the description of this video and that'll take you to where you can download the game and then you can try it out for free for yourself. And I strongly recommend you do it because I've been playing it since Tuesday evening and it is way better than it used to be. It is such a damn good game, this. So where do I even start? It's massive, this game. It is massive. Get your beards groomed, get your hair turned blue, get all that nerdy stuff looking ready because you're going to need it when you're playing this game. It's a grand strategy game. It's a real-time one as well, but it's got a very handy pause which allows you to change whatever you want while you're in pause. It's 4X, which basically means explore, expand, exploit, and exterminate. That's the best bit of a 4X game. The game basically allows you to be anything you want. You build a civilization up from scratch. You select what you want to be at the beginning. You can be a trading diplomat, a pacifistic rock person, a hive-minded slug, or you can be a reptiloid space xenophobe, whatever the hell you want. There's loads of different options to choose from. And when you've chose your base kind of civilization, you then customize it with philosophies, ethics, and different tech types that you want. You can then go into the options if you want and change the difficulty. There's so many parameters that you can change. You can affect pretty much any aspect of the game, which is great for noobs and for seasoned pros, which there is a lot of in this game. Once you've done all of that, it's time to get on with the game. You will start on your little tiny corner of the galaxy. You build a science ship, put a scientist in it, and then explore. And one of the great things that I've really found in the last few days playing this is the exploration, because exploration unlocks anomalies, which unlock quests, which unlock more quests, which unlock stories, and the immersion goes through the freaking roof, guys. It really does. Some of the stories are so good and you'll want to get more clues to find out what's happening. This timey-wimey, wibbly-wobbly time travel stuff. Basically, if you're a fan of like sci-fi stuff, then you can see how a lot of the quests are tailored towards your kind of thinking. Now, after you've explored the neighbouring planet systems to where you start, you will find different minerals, and these are the currencies in the game. There's a few different currencies, pretty self-explanatory. You've got food for your population, minerals which you can use for pretty much anything. You've got luxury items that you need for your colonists. You've got basic credits that you buy stuff with. There's rare stuff as well that you'll find later on in the game, and you can exploit them once you've researched it. And research is key in this game. You can research physics, engineering, and society, and you have to put a scientist at the head of each of those different research trees. And when you go into research, you will get a choice of maybe 3 or 4 different things that you can research in each tree. You choose which one you want, and then when it's done, you will get the tech that's associated with that. And then your researcher will have to pick from another random set of 3. There's also a huge economy in this with trade and huge, like, United Federations of Planets where you can have different trade agreements going on. It's massive, the diplomacy side of this and the trade side of this. I mean, trading I really love in this because if you're short of something, you can just sell what you've got in abundance and use the money you get to buy the stuff that you don't have enough of. But the actual politics is hilarious in this. You can screw people over just politically in this game, especially if you join the big federation. And you can become Emperor Palpatine, to be honest, and just run the whole show if you play your cards right and get the right people on your side. So you've got to study what the other people's philosophies are, look at who's your friend, who's not your friend, who might turn on him if you can just, win favour with them, and all that kind of backstabbing. Very realistic, guys. You've also got to keep an eye on your own colonies, make sure they're still liking your policies of what you're doing, and you've got to keep expanding them as well. Each planet that you colonize will have 4 districts. You've got like city districts, you've got mining districts, farm districts and stuff like that, and you can build buildings in there. You can research new buildings to put on your planet, which will alter the output of your basic buildings that you've put down. You can buff them. You can even destroy them if you want. You can manage entirely the way you want on your colonies. And attacking other people's colonies in this game is really good. For example, first of all, you have to win over their space area. You've got to defeat their fleets, their space fleets that might be above one of their colonies. So you drive them off with pretty much what's called the numbers game. Combat in this is a numbers game. If your fleet has 10,000 and his has 8,000, you're going to win that battle. Every fleet is numbered with the firepower, how much firepower they can put down, and it's all a numbers game. But once you've kind of cleared the way above their colonies, you can then bombard it from space, and at the same time raise an army on one of your planets, put it into transports and transport it to his colony, land it on the planet, defeat their armies in a ground war, and then enslave the whole planet. It's really, really good. You have to do everything properly. There's none of this just, oh, click, right, you've got their planet. No, you've got to actually go and do that stuff. It's so deep, this game. So much fun. I mean, my playthrough, where I'm only even at the early stages. I've been playing it for 3 days now, and I feel like I've got nowhere in the game. I'm still at an early part of the game. When I've looked at other people's on YouTube at how far they've got into it, one game can last weeks and weeks and weeks. It's perfect for the lockdown, this game. It really, really is. And there's a lot of things I haven't been able to mention because it's simply just running out of time. But what I will say is download the game yourself. It's free. You've got nothing to lose whatsoever by downloading it. It's not even a very big download. Play it yourself. But what I want to say is this. Don't be put off by what looks like an overwhelming deep game, because it is easier to play now than it was in 2016, in my opinion. I learned it much faster now. I'm not sure if that's because, it's probably because there's so many guides out there. I watched a guide, took us about probably an hour and a half, watched a couple of guides, and it really did explain stuff that I needed to know. There's also a tutorial in the game. It's not the best tutorial, but it gives you the basics. But I would strongly recommend that if you do download this, go and watch a couple of guides, because once you get into it, it is really good fun. Your hours will just drift by. You'll not care that you're locked in the house. It's that kind of game. So there you go, guys. This is Stellaris. It's had a ton of new updates. Click the link in the description and you can go and play it for free and decide yourself whether it's worth a buy.